I've decided to stop failing today. You might do the same thing. And that's the message that's on my website, anyadvicefortoday.com, and said failure will be your choice. It is our choice because we only fail when we refuse to take the steps in our lives that could cause us to evolve, to become more, to develop, to self actualize, whatever it is. But then you can come up with something that you just don't understand. So you're not willing to move and you're just not going to make that next step, and you might be really afraid, or you might really doubt yourself or believe that you don't have anything that's going to make a difference in your life, is not going to change and nothing is going to be any different. Or you might look at the world currently and think, well, this is really terrible. I can't do anything about this and I don't want to be there. And then I will sit here and tell you, well, I was given the solution to all of that. But that's why I was failing, because I couldn't tell you, I couldn't own it. And that would be the only reason that you would be failing or experience what would feel like failure in your life, is that you are unwilling to take the next step on your journey. Because what I know is that every single person is born with something of value and worth to develop. I published a couple things, several things on my site, and I'd love for you to look at it because I'm also looking for someone who's going to take this work and help me market it to a much larger audience, because that's not my strong suit, and I never, and that was my biggest problem, because I didn't understand what I was holding and I wouldn't charge enough money for it, and that put me in a great bind, and other people, because I couldn't pay other people, I couldn't finish the work. That's what happens when you don't own yourself. Now, I will give myself an excuse, though, because I was doing something nobody else had done, and so you wouldn't have believed it because I couldn't believe it. I've healed everything. Every difficulty that you might imagine you're experiencing in your life, I was given an answer for that. And it turned out to be this full philosophy, so it's impossible for anyone to fail because we have all the answers. The only thing we get confused on in our lives is, what do I do next? How do I understand who I am? How do I take the next step? Well, I've written them all down, and I did it over 36 years. And if you go through any of the messages, you will see that happen. And so I'm dedicating myself to doing this work. And I can't tell you how much money I might have spent or invested in doing it. I've taken every course, every possible thing you can imagine. That's what I did. And I suffered through everything. And now it's all changed because of this work. And so that's what I was supposed to bring to the world, and that's what I'm doing now. And so when you look at this session, the messages for the 28th, and the message, because they stopped me today. That's what happens. I receive information and I just get stopped because I was shown the organization of the universe. When you uncover something that's so new that no one has done, people won't believe you, and that's what's happened for me. And then you go broke because nobody believes you, even if you have the results. As humans, we will stay stuck because that feels more comfortable than having freedom, than going out and really loving ourselves and doing what we were here to do. That's really what it is. There's nothing else other than that. And I can tell you that because I've lived it, so I do know. And then it was a process. And understand this, you change every day, every moment, actually. So you can't expect yourself to own who you are immediately. It's a process that we all move through in life. I just happen to be born to bring in this entirely new philosophy for our world because it's not supposed to look the way that it does now, and that's what I was given. And they kept telling me, Wilhelm kept telling me, you came to be love. I said, no, it's too much for me. I can't do that. That meant loving me and everyone and others. That's what we're all meant to do, but we've got to love ourselves first, and that's the self-acceptance. But again, you may have trouble with that because you don't want to move, or you're afraid of yourself. You don't want to look at what's inside, all of that stuff. I do get it. But I'm telling you today, you don't have to do that anymore. I have the plan that can take anyone to living their greatest life, and I don't care who you are, what you've done. I do know that it's there because it's in consciousness. When I began accessing expanded quantum fields of consciousness, that's how this work came through. But I couldn't have known that. But you'll see it today or tomorrow, whenever you happen to look at the site. But what I'm saying to you there's no reason for you to struggle, suffer, or anything, because I've been given all the answers. All you have to do is do it every single day, and you change, and you have this life you're meant to have, and you move through all the old stuff, and you can afford it. Now, you look at the rates today, I'm telling you, anybody can afford it today, because you can finance it, you can do it by the month, you can email me to do a payment plan, whatever it is. But I am telling you, there's not a single person on this planet, I'm just going to say it because I do know this, I hid from it for so long though, there's not a single person on this planet that I could not use this information to guide you to live your best life. That's what it is, and I do know that. And that's why I'm choosing to stop failing, because I worried about telling you that. I was so afraid of it. You can look at my website. I've been writing articles about it for years because I knew that I had uncovered something that was so phenomenal that could change the world, because it changes anyone's life who chooses to use it. Doesn't matter who you are again. That's what I developed, which is why I need a marketing partner who can put that in words and get it out there. Because it's the same thing that years ago I said, I'm going to be this millionaire because I knew I had discovered this. I am saying this because you have the same thing. It's in you. It just has to be developed, and it's a process of you coming to believe it. But that's why I'm giving up failing today. So please read the articles that I've pasted on Any Advice for Today. I'll leave links here so you can understand it. And if you decide to come in, great. I'd love to work with you, and I'll have a meeting with you for an hour so you'll know exactly what you're doing and why you're here. That's what I'm going to start doing, because as of tomorrow, things will change, and I'm going to be working on just this work and private clients, because that's even more fun for me. But I'm going to stop failing today, and you might decide to do the same thing. See you soon.